Hi, this is Christine Hadaway. I'm coming to you from my office on my couch. I started thinking about why fractions are so important, and I thought you might want to share this with your students. I know I get a lot of times, when am I going to use this in life? Why do I have to learn this? What's so important? Well, fractions are a big deal, and I know as teachers you know that, but I thought I would give you a list of reasons you could share with your students as to why fractions are so important. So a lot of times, the question on the mind, like I said, of many students and parents is, why do I need fractions anyways? Is it really that important? Can't I just leave part of it out and continue on with my regular math and just pretend they don't exist? Sad to say, but I'm afraid not. Fractions are a very important part of math. Just think of how many times a day you have to assess a situation, divide up a workload, drive a car, or even plan a meal. You need fractions with all of that. When you work, you have to be able to give clear, concise instructions. If you're planning to become an architect, medical doctor, or any position in the technical field, you'll need certain skills like fractions to be able to do precise calculations. Can you imagine if a doctor or specialist in the medical field cut out just a little bit further than they were supposed to? They could end up killing someone just because they didn't know their fractions correctly. The lives of people are dependent upon exact calculations. On a less serious note, what about if you were making a pie or something and you didn't know your fractions correctly and you ended up putting way more salt or sugar in there? You could end up ruining the entire pie just because you didn't know your fractions correctly. Think of a house without a foundation. It will be built in the sand or rubble. When the storms come, your house will be wet and damp. The floor would be muddy and you will most possibly get very sick, and at some point your house will collapse. You see, just like fractions is the foundation of the house. In later life, your house will need strong walls. Algebra is the walls that keep up the roof. So if your math house wants to have a good roof later on, you need to be good in algebra. And to be good in algebra, you need to be able to understand fractions. So see, it all builds upon itself. So I always try to explain fractions to my students by comparing it with food. We do it a lot with pizza and dividing up pie, and a lot of times at the end of a unit, I'll have a pizza place I'll order pizzas and have them not cut it up, and we will cut it up in front of the class together and discuss fractions at the end that way, and we get to have a fun little pizza party. And sometimes we use pies also. It just depends on the time of day. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little section about fractions, and I hope you're enjoying my website.